If motivation actually worked, you wouldn't still be struggling with the same goals year after year. And neuroscience explains why. This isn't a mindset issue, it's biology. Most people think they lack motivation, so they push harder. They shame themselves for not trying enough, for not being disciplined enough. They scroll through social media, watch another inspirational video, and tell themselves, okay, this time it will be different. They get that temporary jolt of energy, that feeling that anything is possible, and then nothing changes. A week later, maybe a day later, they're right back where they started, feeling even more frustrated than before. But here's the truth no one tells you. Motivation is not designed to be consistent. It's not supposed to last. And relying on it is like trying to build a house on quicksand. Let's dive into the science of what's really happening in your brain. Motivation, that feeling of drive and excitement, primarily comes from a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine spikes when your brain anticipates a reward, or when something is new, novel, and exciting. Think about it. That's why starting a new goal feels so amazing at first. The first day of a new diet, the first trip to the gym, the first chapter of a new book, it all feels incredible because your brain is flooded with dopamine. It's the novelty, the possibility. New routines feel easy. That new inspirational video you watched feels powerful because it gives you a fresh hit of dopamine. But here's the crucial part. Dopamine always drops. It has to. This is a biological certainty. Your brain is a survival machine, honed over millions of years of evolution. Its primary job is to keep you alive, and a big part of that is conserving energy. Your brain isn't built for constant transformation. It's built for survival. It actively resists uncertainty because uncertainty could mean danger. And it deeply prefers the familiar, the predictable path. Why? Because the familiar path is a known quantity. Your brain knows it won't kill you. This is why it prefers the familiar, even if the familiar is unhealthy, like procrastinating or staying in a job you dislike. The devil you know is safer than the devil you don't. So when that initial motivation fades and you find yourself struggling to stick with your new habit, your brain isn't broken. It's not a sign of weakness or a character flaw, simply doing its job. It's protecting you from the perceived threat of change and conserving your precious energy. The drop in dopamine is your brain's natural braking system, pulling you back toward what it knows is safe and predictable. This is the exact point where most people get stuck. They misinterpret this biological signal. When the motivation disappears, they think, I just need more discipline. I must not want it badly enough. If I just pushed through, I would succeed. They try to use willpower and force to override their biology. But think about what happens when you try to force something in the physical world. If you try to jam a key into the wrong lock, what happens? You meet resistance. The harder you push, the more you risk breaking the key or the lock. The same principle applies to your internal world. Force creates resistance. Your brain and body will push back against being forced into something that feels unsafe or uncertain. Trying to discipline your way to a goal when your internal system is screaming danger is a losing battle. It leads to burnout, stress, and self-blame. So what actually works? It's not more motivation. It's not more discipline. It's creating a state of nervous system safety. This is the big reframe that changes everything. Your nervous system is the control center for your body's survival responses. It's constantly scanning your internal and external environment for cues of safety or danger. When it senses safety, it allows for things like rest, digestion, connection, and creativity. But when it senses a threat and big, ambitious, uncertain goals can feel like a threat at, shifts into fight, flight, or freeze mode. When your nervous system feels safe, consistency happens almost naturally. It becomes the path of least resistance. Safety is the signal that tells your brain, hey, we're not in danger here. This change won't cost us our survival. Okay, we can afford to expend a little energy on this new thing. This is why you can't stick to your routines when you're chronically stressed. Your body is already in survival mode, and a new workout plan is the last thing on its priority list. This is why you procrastinate on a huge project that feels overwhelming. Your nervous system perceives it as a threat and puts on the brakes. You shut down instead of moving forward. Your body isn't being lazy. It's protecting you from what it perceives as a danger. It's a brilliant ancient survival mechanism that, in our modern world, often gets misinterpreted as a personal failing. So, let's get practical. How do you create this sense of safety? How do you work with your biology instead of fighting it? Here are 3 tools that actually work, instead of chasing motivation. First, shrink the goal. Your nervous system responds to safety, not ambition. A goal like run a marathon can feel threatening and overwhelming. But a goal like put on my running shoes and walk for 5 minutes feels safe and achievable. 5 minutes is infinitely better than 0 minutes. A tiny, non-threatening step builds a foundation of safety. It tells your brain, see, we did this and we survived. It was okay. Second, attach change to regulation. Before you attempt the new habit, calm your body first. Take a few slow, deep breaths. Do a quick body scan. Hum a tune. These are simple ways to signal to your nervous system that you are safe right now. Act from a place of calm, not a place of stress or force. Breathe first. Calm the body first. Then take your tiny action. This pairs the new behavior with a state of safety, creating a positive association in your brain. And third, prioritize consistency over intensity. Your brain learns and builds trust through repetition, not through massive, infrequent bursts of effort. Going to the gym for 2 hours once a week and then collapsing is less effective for long-term change than walking for 10 minutes every single day. The daily repetition tells your brain, this is what we do now. This is part of our normal, safe routine. Consistency is what rewires your brain and makes new habits feel familiar and automatic. You don't need fixing. You don't need more willpower or discipline. You are not broken. You just need a different approach, one based on understanding your own biology. When you stop fighting your nervous system and start working with it, progress becomes gentle. It becomes compassionate. And most importantly, it becomes sustainable. You're not fighting against yourself anymore. You're teaming up with your body's own wisdom. If this video helped you see yourself a little differently, maybe with a bit more compassion, consider sharing it with a friend who thinks they're failing but really isn't. And if you want more content that blends science, healing, and self-trust, please subscribe. Remember, you're not behind, you're just learning how your own system works. Thanks for watching.